Norm went up against the network, for the sake of comedy. Seth Meyers is the network. He's a producer. He's the one telling people what they can and can't say. I want to get into everything wrong with Seth Meyers. Another question today, who do you think is definitively the worst of the late night chain gang? Okay, we got Kimmel, Colbert, Noah, B, Meyers. Am I missing any?
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon, all right. He's kind of inconsequential. The main theme here is that with Seth Meyers, he's a picture-perfect example of someone who places politics over comedy, and he's been bolstered by a big network because of it, in spite of the fact that he's not very popular or well-liked. That's what bothers me, and I think that's a big thing. When we talked about the Correspondents' Dinner, this is a constant theme, but I think Seth Meyers is one of the worst offenders, and the reason I brought it up is because it is trending in every single YouTube feed. It's related to all of my videos for some reason, so all right, let's go both barrels right now, okay? So his political history, before we get into it, is really well known as far as actively endorsing or performing with Democratic politicians or giving large sums of cash. Okay, let's start with that. And then you have, of course, like Samantha Bee with Schneiderman or Seth Meyers with Schneiderman, you have him swooning over any DNC politician on his show as though they're a rock star. Exhibit A.
Donald Trump does not like either of us, but he might dislike you more because I tell jokes about him, but you sue him. And sometimes, did you get into the race thinking, well, obviously, I'll be the young, hip choice. Bernie Sanders, I'm going to dominate there. I'm very honored that you're here. I want to congratulate you on a birthday. Planned Parenthood just turned 100 years old.
Exactly.
In October. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's a late night show for you, right? Clapping for Planned
months-long
Parenthood.
grand jury investigation into alleged wrongdoing by Planned Parenthood has produced a surprising indictment. So the Republican candidates made this into a national political scandal. The tapes prompted a series of investigations, even as Planned Parenthood and most independent fact-checkers insisted the tapes were deceptive.
He's a barrel of laughs. And by the way, NBC as well has a long history of ties to the DNC and the Clintons. Questionable at best. Here's something else. When you look at executives, when they push Seth Meyers, this is the kind of thing that really, really grinds my gears. They push him because of his political agenda. Like you look at NBC chairman Bob Greenblatt, I think he was pushing Meyers as the anti-Trump host. Oh, he's a voice right now in a time of darkness. Seth Meyers is needed. You don't see executives saying he's just the funniest guy for the job. Yeah. It's like, you really think Seth Meyers is funny? He's necessary. And in general, he's just praised for his anti-Trump material. That's again, when you're talking about late night comedy shows, you look back at Carson, even you look back at early Letterman, even look back at early Conan before he turned into, even look at Jon Stewart. Here's the thing, before we got to this current crop, Jon Stewart made sense. He was really the first sort of cable late night host, right? At that point, there were really only two, and Fox News, post-Iraq War, was surging. So it was an antidote to this sort of Fox News cable channel that was dominating, and it made sense. He was questioning. And by the way, you don't see the same vitriolic hatred from Jon Stewart that you see from today's left. Yeah, no. Plus, he was funny. So his average late night viewership is somewhere around 1 million, which is significantly less than some big podcasts or online shows that you might watch. So for YouTube video, and this is, again, we're contrasting the praise and the push that he gets versus the results. And of course, putting agenda over comedy, which is the problem that I think people have. For YouTube, his video views usually stay in the tens of thousands on average. Okay, if you look at the last few days at the time of this video, all of his videos are below 50,000 plays. Right? I think Sven Computer, you did some math, right?
Yeah, I did for the last two shows they did. And
okay.
It came out as a little under 50,000 on average for videos that are not political.
Now here's the thing, 50,000 plays on average, except for anti-Trump videos. It's the only time, as soon as he attacks anything Trump-related, the leftist media promotes it, like the gaggle they are, and his views get into the millions. So you have a discrepancy of tens of thousands, if he's lucky, for comedy, which one could argue is the original purpose of a late night program, versus millions when he attacks Trump. Why? Because it makes it into the trending list.
One could argue it's a formula.
Yes, one could argue it's almost a formula. And this is why numbers in comedy overall are down from what they used to be. I mean, think about this for a second. When was the last time Seth Meyers or Trevor Noah or Samantha Bee came out with a joke that had some sting on it where people went, what? Ooh, Seth Meyers did that? Wow, good for him. That's the purpose of comedy. Perfect side-by-side comparison. Take Seth Meyers. Why can you... A lot of people go, I just can't stand it, but I don't know why. He bothers me so much. Take Seth Meyers' Weekend Update. Let's compare him with Weekend Update. One of the best Weekend Update hosts ever in Norm Macdonald. Now, Norm Macdonald was fired by an executive, Don Ohlmeyer, back then at NBC, for making fun of Michael Jackson and O.J. Simpson. Let's roll some clips.
While in the hospital, Michael Jackson had his room specially decorated with two huge photos of Shirley Temple. But don't get the wrong idea here. Michael Jackson is a homosexual pedophile. King of Pop Michael Jackson, who collapsed during rehearsals for a concert last week, has been released from the hospital.
He got in trouble with the network.
His condition is stable and continues to improve, although he is still a freak. Well, it is finally official. Murder
Before he complained about
legal in the state of California.
Okay. Now, first, you cannot find a good version of that clip. Anyone who was alive at that time can tell you that that was that clip on the OJ, heard around the world. That was why he was fired. You can find clips of Norm Macdonald, a lot older than that. You can find clips of no-name comedians during the OJ trial. You cannot find a better quality clip than that on YouTube right now. How insane is that? He got fired. For that, they said, don't make any more jokes about Michael. Don't make any more jokes about OJ. You have to understand, during that time, this was post-Rodney King, the OJ thing kind of took on a Black Lives Matter tone for that time, even though everyone knew he was guilty, right? There happened to be a racist cop on the force. Grant you that. Racist. Okay, all right? So Norm Macdonald was fired for that. And as a comedian, what did he do? He fired right back.
Yeah, he doesn't think I'm funny in Weekend Update, and God only knows. I mean, you know, it's just a matter of opinion. He also thinks that OJ is innocent. So.
There you go.
Didn't back down at all.
Norm went up against the network, for the sake of comedy. Seth Meyers is the network. He's a producer. He's the one telling people what they can and can't say. And I know, listen, this is a bias. This might be a blind spot. People will say it because I see this on both the left and the right. Yeah, I absolutely do think that the left is worse for comedy because people on the right are not trying to police what you can say. Nick DiPaolo, Joe Rogan, Jim Norton, we talk about these people, Owen Benjamin. They are not trying to tell you what you can or cannot say. Even if they're saying, hey, doesn't comedy suck now because it's so far left-leaning? And I get the leftists saying, oh, right-leaning comedy sucks. But there's only one side trying to tell you what you can and can't say, and that's Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers was constructed almost in an unfunny laboratory. Okay, let's go down the list. Being a political pawn, cause number one. Product sales coming second. Network loyalty coming third, and it could be argued maybe on a good day, comedy coming in fourth on the list. And when you contrast that with comedy of yore and comedians of yore like Norm Macdonald, well, I think Norm himself said it best.
You know, if you really want to be really funny, then that's what you want to do. You want to think, what would make Seth Meyers laugh? That's how I live my life.
Hey there, YouTube viewer. If you like this video, I would say subscribe, hit the notification bell, or watch one of these videos playing in a box that we've personally uploaded and programmed for your viewing pleasure. The problem is now, in today's day and age on YouTube in 2018, any of those three things that you do, any of those three buttons that you click will take you directly to a Seth Meyers video. So stay here and join Mug. Get off of here. Go to loudwithcrowder.com/mugclub. It's the only safe place you can go and join.